I know that some of us are not used to this kind of thing, but inshallah, one is going to briefly repeat inshallah what the Allama Pradhan Sahib just mentioned, so Mulana that
I will try to stay brief, and please make note that we make translation of the version that you just heard. So there is a possibility that we might have made errors, but we have made our best effort. Number one, what is the Shara'i order or ruling of wearing the topi and turban? And what is the ruling of praying bareheaded? The answer is, it is sunnah to wear the topi and the amama, the turban. And to unnecessarily make a habit of not doing so, that is, to pray bareheaded, is makruh tanzih and against the practiced sunnah of our Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. What was the prophetic tradition alayhi salatu wasalam in this regard? So, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the answer is, wore the topi and turban in his prayers. And those narrations which show that he prayed bareheaded were those cases in which he was either in the state of ihram or was doing it out of display of its permissibility or for khushu and khuzu. What are the different rulings of offering prayer bareheaded? That is to say, what if someone does not have the topi at hand? Or number two, what if he does it out of laziness? Or number three, what if he does not think the prayer is important enough that it requires the turban and the topi? The answer, if one is praying out of laziness, if one is praying bareheaded out of laziness, then this is makruh tanzihi. And if he is doing it with the intention that prayer is not worthy of such great respect, and he is degrading the salah, then this is kufr. And if he is doing it out of khushu and khuzu, then it is preferred. What if someone wants to pray in the topi but does not have it in his possession? He should try to find one and wear it. Otherwise, he should pray as without a topi, and then be mindful of it next time. Number 7, what is the ruling on the modern day caps that are turned backwards while praying? The answer to this is due to time constraints. The ulama have decided to delay the decision and the announcement of this decision till next time. What is the decision on praying in shorts that reveal the satar which should be covered during the prayer? This has also been delayed till the next session due to time constraints. What is the ruling of the prayer about the shorts that don't cover, or rather they do cover the necessary parts in the prayer? Answer to this is that such shorts will not invalidate the salat. The prayer will count, but it is disliked. It will not be free of being disliked. One should avoid those types of clothing. What is the ruling of praying in shorts, or rather in shirts, or in such short shirts which reveal the back or the lower areas, the private areas? Those kinds of shirts invalidate the prayer. What is the ruling of women praying in such a fashion that their neck, their hairs show, are exposed? The answer to this is, if more than 1/4 of these parts are exposed, then the prayer will be invalid. What is the ruling about the area between the wrist and basically the forearm for a lady if she prays and it becomes revealed or exposed? The answer to this is, if more than 1/4 of it is exposed, then the prayer will be invalid. Number 13, what about those clothing which ladies wear in which the sleeves are so tight that they are unable to open them for wudu and instead just do masah? The answer is, that will not validate the wudu will be invalid, and so therefore the salat will be invalid. I did this as quickly as possible, keeping in mind the time. And then the next part, I will also try to be brief. Number one, will the prayer be valid if it is prayed on a chair without any valid Shari excuse? If someone prays their farz and wajib prayers without any legal justification seated, then their prayer will not be jaiz or valid. Only someone who cannot do sajda can offer his prayer while seated on the chair. If he is unable to do qiyam but is able to do sajda, then he is allowed to pray seated on the floor with ruku and sujood. But he cannot be seated on a chair. Number two, what is the ruling of the sunnah and nawafil that are offered while sitting? The sunnah and nawafil that are offered while sitting are allowed. They can be prayed in those instances. Number three, can a person sit for salat if he can stand for qiyam but he cannot go into sajda or coming up from sajda? The answer to this is, if someone cannot stand for the prayer, or rather someone can stand for the prayer but cannot go into sajda, then he does not have to stand. He can offer his prayers sitting down. Are there any valid excuses for offering the prayer sitting down? This is very important. Number one, that kind of person who cannot stand at all. It is very painful for him. Number two, there is a wound in the body that will bleed if he stands up. Number three, he can stand, but he can't go into sajda. So in that kind of case, he does not even have to stand. If he has some kind of disease or illness in which droplets of urine come out, or if there is a chance that enemies will see him, he can pray seated. And unfortunately, if someone is not able to cover his clothing, or for whatever reason, then in that kind of case, to cover his body as much as possible, he can sit down if he does not have the proper clothing at that time, due to an excuse. Can one offer the prayer if he just has a small illness like cough, cold, headache, etc.? No. In that kind of instance, if the pain is of such nature that it is bearable, then he must offer the prayer standing up. And it will not be accepted if he does it sitting down. What if someone can stand for some part of the time and can do the prayer properly some part of the time but not the whole time? Then he should do the qiyam as much as possible. When he is no longer able to stand, then he should go into the sitting position. It is mentioned by Imam Ahmad Raza, however much, to whichever extent, in whichever form a person can stand, then he should stand. I am summarizing everything. What is the ruling about the farz and obligatory prayers offered on the flight? On a flying airplane, one can sit for the qiyam, but must do the ruku and sujood like they are supposed to be done. It is better to stand, however. The Shari'i Council of India of Bareilly Sharif has issued the verdict: the ruling of the salat on a flying airplane is the same as the ruling of as praying on a ship. The salat must be offered facing the qibla. One can sit for the qiyam, but he must do the ruku and sujood correctly and properly like they are supposed to be done. He cannot just do it by signals. Are there any instances or scenarios when prayer can be offered sitting down in the airplane? Yes. Those are the situations when he is praying the nawafil. He can sit down. In that instance, he does not even have to face the qibla. Under what circumstances is it permissible to offer the salat sitting down? That is a repeated question. We already answered that. Under what excuses? I just explained that already. If any mistakes have been done, it was on our part. We tried our best to translate in the short time we had. Hopefully this will be printed out in the most correct form and fashion.
Subhanallah, we were just